everyone, this is Yeli, and I was really not planning on filming today, but I do have some things that I wanted to update you guys on, and I don't want to forget about them later. Even though I write them down and I kind of log them, I just don't want to forget. So today is day 17 on Mounjaro, and let me just get right into it. I think my last update was on Monday or Tuesday. I didn't look through my videos to kind of see, but what I have logged here in my agenda is that on Tuesday, oh yeah, I think that's the last day when I did a terrible job of showing you guys what I was gonna eat in a day. So yeah, I did go and update you guys there, so I'm not going to go back into that again. On Wednesday, on Tuesday I went to bed around 11 something, and then on Wednesday I woke up at 5:45 a.m. And I think I kind of did a mini vlog, which was yesterday was Wednesday, so today is Thursday. And I was active, but I was tired because I think my body did not sleep enough. And funny, in the morning I was not hungry at all, but in the evening I felt hungry. And I have no idea what's going on because, so I think I'm menopausal, and that, but I was having kind of symptoms like if I was going to be on my period, which I'm not, but that's kind of how I feel. And how I felt when I got my period was that I kind of felt hungrier, and sometimes like basically food chatter, right? The food noise kind of resonating, but it wasn't like a real feeling of hunger. So it was in the evening. I still managed to have my dinner. So I had steak and just a little bit of fries, and then like as a dessert I had some yogurt, and that was fine. I was able to go to bed. I didn't go to bed that late, which is good. So I did go to bed at 11, which is nice because I really needed to kind of rest and sleep. And I did wake up like around 7:30 this morning. It's funny though that even though I kind of felt hungrier and food chatter, so in terms of the side effect of being full all the time, I kind of felt it, but I was also hungry at the same time, right? So it was not like it was this past week where I was kind of more stable. I felt like a little of up and down, but I did, even though that side effect was not manifesting itself, I did have a light headache all morning. And I think that light headache kind of went away after my mid-morning breakfast because I did have a late breakfast. And again, I wasn't hungry in the morning. Like I didn't wake up hungry. Like there was one day that I kind of woke up hungry. So it's very strange. So what I'm saying is that I'm not quite stable yet in terms of what I feel with food. Even though for some days I'm feeling that there's kind of like instability right now. And I was getting a little scared, and it was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to be dealing with this right now. But I also had to tell myself, well, this is something, the medicine is still adjusting to my body. I've only had 3 doses of 2.5. And the fact that in my head, I don't want to titrate too fast, it doesn't mean that I don't need to. So maybe I need to titrate to 5, right? I don't know, and I have to let go of that, because if I want things to go the way I feel and think. I'm just going to bring just stress onto myself because things are not going how I think they should go. So the first thing I need to do is let go of expectations. And I've been okay doing that about weight. But in terms of not feeling hungry, I kind of felt it from the first day as I woke up. So the fact that it's kind of wonky right now and that sometimes I feel it and that sometimes I don't, it's a little bit scary, but I have to also tell myself it's okay because I'm just in the introductory dose. If that is not the dose where I'm going to continue, that's fine. I might need to go to 5. We'll see. There's always options, which is great. It's not like I can't use Mounjaro. It's just that I'm still figuring out what the best thing for me is. And then I felt a little bit like lightheaded and dizzy. I don't know if I mentioned that. However, the one positive thing though is that that weight that kind of went up and went back down. Now I am down 7.6 pounds, which was also surprising to me because I did have a snack before going to bed yesterday, and I thought that maybe the fact that I had eaten that snack on the later side was not going to help. So this goes to say that the first thing that I need to do, and that I would suggest people to do, is let go of expectations. Letting go of this plan in my head that my track is going to be a certain way, but I also do have to write down everything that's going on so that when the time to make a decision comes, I can make an informed decision along with my doctor, or my doctor can make an informed decision along with what I'm sharing with her, right? And I just have to, that's the only thing I can do. And if the food noise is coming back up, well, I'll just have to deal with that. So what I think that I'm going to do tomorrow, and I don't know if this also has to do with the fact that I've changed my metformin to noon, because I remember my diabetes specialist saying to not have it in the morning with coffee, but to change it to noon. So I don't know if that is also messing this up a little bit, because I'm spending more time with higher glucose in the morning, and the higher the glucose, the hungrier people get. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot going on, right? I do have to say that in the morning, my sugar has been consistently going lower, which is also nice, and I appreciate it because I'm still experiencing the dawning effect. So in the morning, sometimes my sugar would always be high. Like before starting on Mounjaro, I could wake up with a sugar over 200. After starting on Mounjaro, which by the time I started on Mounjaro, I was also eating better. My sugar was in the 180s or something like that. And then with Mounjaro, it was like 185, between 180 and 165. And it's slowly been coming down because I kind of been writing down, and I'm just looking through my numbers to share them with you. So on Monday, it was close to 160. On Tuesday, it was 154. On Wednesday, it was 145. And this morning, it was 140. Even though it's going down, it's still on the higher end of what we would like it to be. And I also saw, oh, I'm sorry. So what I was going to say also was that the snack that I had last night had fruit in it. So I don't know if maybe eating fruit makes me hungrier because of the sugar in it. It was watermelon, and it was within my carb limits per snack. But it's something to think about. And that's why it's good to write all the food and just kind of have some reflections here and there. But today, the chatter has been real. Like after those first hours of the morning where I wasn't hungry at all, I started getting hungry around 10:30 a.m. So I went ahead and had breakfast, and I was gonna go to my I was gonna do my manicure, so I wasn't gonna have anything until after I came back from that. But I stopped by Dunkin' Donuts and I bought some coffee. Not sure if that helped either. That's why I'm writing everything down. But it was, of course, it was decaf. It was an iced decaf. I always ask for an extra shot of cream and 2 shots of coconut, which is unsweetened. And I had some of that, and I also got snacking bacon, and I haven't looked at the carbs. I mean, it's sweet, so it must have some carbs in it for sure. But what I'm saying is that when I'm waking up with that sugar that's on the higher end, I'm feeling hungrier and I want more sugar. So you see, there is food noise in there, and not the best choices, right? Because I kind of had my plan of what I was going to eat. I had leftover steak and I had leftover coleslaw, so I could have for sure just waited to get home and eat what I had to eat. But instead of that, then I got home and I was still a little bit full from the bacon. So instead of going ahead and having lunch, what I did was I had another snack later on, and now I've had dinner, right? So I did have my steak, my coleslaw, and a little bit of fries and for dinner, but not happy to have that food chatter in my head again. It's not helping me make wise decisions. And after I feel that after being a while on Mounjaro, which I haven't, I've just been 2 minutes on Mounjaro, I feel that it's easier to kind of have gotten used to eating a certain way. I haven't yet quite been able to do that because I've only had like a week of reasonable eating. I want to call it reasonable because it's not perfect, but it's not crazy. It's lower carb, and it's been good eating because I've been staying within what my nutritionist gave me. So I will call it eating well, eating properly for a whole week. Then now I'm having this. So I still have 1 shot to go. And today is Thursday. I still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Still, I'm kind of like in the middle of the shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out some vegetables. I'm going to boil some eggs because I think hard-boiled eggs are going to be something important. Oh, speaking of which, I picked up an order in the supermarket and I didn't see the eggs in it. I have to check, see if they charged me for them because they definitely didn't give them to me. So having some hard-boiled eggs and maybe eating higher protein, I think that's also something I'm lacking. I'm not getting enough grams of proteins, but that's been my whole life story. It's so hard for me to get enough protein in. I really need to figure out what to do with this because I asked my nutritionist what she thought about like a protein shake, and she didn't quite say yes or no, but she kind of winced and it was like going towards a no. And I don't know, she then talked about something and didn't quite answer, and now is when I'm realizing I never really went back to her to get that answer from her. So I'm definitely writing it down and making sure I do get an answer next time I go, because I don't want to just go into any type of protein shake. I want it to be something that that it's okay and that's going to work well for my diabetes, because I know that some people take some and it works well for them, but they don't necessarily are diabetics, but I am. So I have to really limit, if not just cut sugar out completely. I want to say completely, but that's very hard because everything nowadays has sugar in it. So trying to eat less processed foods helps with that, helps minimize the amount of sugar, but there's still going to be an amount of sugar in there. So again, just wanted to update you on that. I'm having that food chatter. I don't know. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I think it's also good that tomorrow I have a Reiki session, and I'm gonna also just give myself a Reiki session, and hopefully I'll be able to do that as soon as I end this video as well, because I do see that when I'm able to have a Reiki session, like, I'm also calmer. So there might be something going on. I'm busier, I'm running up and down. I have a 12-year-old, right, with all the things that a preteen brings with them, and who I love to pieces, and it's a lot of fun, but sometimes there's a lot of challenges, and such is life, right? There's challenges everywhere in my life. So this could also be a little bit of a reflection of emotional eating. I don't know, but I'm vlogging about it, just letting you guys know I'm on day 17. And even though my first reaction is to kind of enter crisis mode and be like, how am I going to survive this? I have to just tell myself it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I still have another week. On Monday, I get my other shot. On Thursday, I see my doctor again. And by then, I'll have more information. I'll know if this kept on happening. I'll know if I went back to where I was before, and we'll be able to make a decision based on that, right? Another thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, and I guess I'm gonna have to research that a little bit, is that I've been hearing people post recently about shortages. So I don't know if there are any in my area or not. And I guess I just want to be informed and kind of plan ahead, because I know that I won't be able to pick up 5 prescriptions at once. But just kind of talk to my doctor about that, and just make sure that they are getting all the medicine that they need to be getting in, or ask her if she wants me to have a dose, a prescription, just in case we run into shortages. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we're going to deal with this, but yeah, there I am. I am not hungry right now, but I also ate just barely half an hour ago, and I am very thirsty, and I want to drink some water. But since I heard like a physician talking about the fact to try to wait 30 minutes before the meal, or wait 30 minutes after your last drink of liquid to have a meal, and then wait 30 minutes after a meal to have liquid again. I've been waiting to have some water, and maybe I'll make myself a decaf coffee, or maybe I'll make myself some tea. I don't know. My throat is still kind of strange. It could also be that I was sick and I wasn't that hungry because I was sick. So this is kind of what I am getting in terms of the medicine alone. So that's another variable in there, right? But yeah, if you've experienced this on the first weeks of Mounjaro, and you've kind of had like that feeling that I had, which was like a temporary reprieve from the thoughts of wanting to eat, and then all of a sudden they're coming back. And funny enough, like, I've been a grazer my whole life, and I've, like, when I crave something, I just crave stuff that's unhealthy. And right now, the good thing I do have to say is that I'm not going to a drive-through and getting a burger. What I want to do is come home and eat one of my healthy snacks. So it's not like craving sweets, which I stopped doing sweets a long time ago. And so, you know, those were not really my problem craving. So that's not where I go when I crave something. But yeah, so much easier to just stop and get a burger, or eat something out, or just get sushi, which is terrible and horrible for my sugar. That's like a food that I can't really eat because it has a ton of carbs, just one little roll. My nutritionist helped me figure that out, and it was like 60 grams of carb, just one little tube where they cut 6 little pieces of it. And I was like, that is a lot, right? 60 grams of carbs. So sushi is definitely not going to be one of the things that I think I'm going to be eating. Yeah, so I think I went everything. I was looking down to see if I had gone everything. Oh, and I had not taken measurements because I couldn't find the tape measure, but I found it. I took measurements and I have written them down. And once I get to like my first milestone in weight loss, I'll share with you guys. But as of right now, on day 17, I've lost 7.5 pounds, which I think is awesome because that's almost, that's more than 2 pounds per week, which is what my doctor wants me to be on. But I know that the first pounds go faster, whether it be because it's fluid retention or whatever. And then after that, to just have kind of like 2 pounds per week. So yeah, I'm feeling, even though I'm a little bit concerned, I'm still feeling okay. And just coming in here and sharing this with you guys and saying it out loud and hearing myself talk about it and be like, you know, hearing myself just saying it's going to be okay and you still have another dose and it's just 10 more days to go until your next doctor's visit, or actually 8 days. It's a week because it's next Thursday. So there's a plan, right? And it's not the end of the world. And even if my sugar goes up a little bit, and even if I gain a little bit because there's a lot of food chatter in these next days, it's not going to be the end of the world. I don't want that to happen, of course, but I don't want to white knuckle anything either because I know where that leads me. That leads me to just feeling like this diet craziness and then being off of it and being like, woohoo, here I go. I can eat whatever I want. And that's when it's dangerous for me. And that's when I start getting into sweets, which is something that I definitely can't afford to do by being a type 2 diabetic. So I want to close with good news. My daily average today, even though like I've told you guys that I've had sugar on the higher end, I've also had some lows, nice, in the times where I'm not hungry and since I'm eating better. So my average today has fluctuated from 126 to 129. Right now, my daily average is 127, which is wonderful. And my daily average yesterday ended up being like 130. Before going to bed, I checked and it was like 130, 131. So you can see how it's very nicely going down. Like from the first, it was kind of like a drop like this, but now it's like a slower curve, but it's still going down. It's still improving and it's still working. So I am excited about that, excited about this journey. And I know that I have to be 4 weeks on the introductory dose, whether I continue on that one or keep on going further. Well, we'll talk about that when the time comes and after I've finished the weeks that the 4 weeks, and by next Thursday I'll be able to talk to my doctor and I'll have a game plan and I'll share it with you guys, of course. And again, if you want to follow me on this journey, it means the world if you subscribe, if leave me a comment. I love replying to comments. I love being part of a community, and I'm super happy that you guys are following my journey. I'm always happy to follow people's journeys on this because I think that having that accountability and that support is really amazing and it's really helpful. So just coming here and talking to you guys about it, like now I feel much better. So for sure there's an emotional response to this. So maybe the food chatter is like this and the emotional response is like this, who knows, right? So yeah, for you guys being here is important. So yeah, please. And that also tells YouTube that this is a channel worth showing to other people. So it helps the channel grow and it helps me to keep on that motivation of sharing my journey with you guys. And I love the comments of those of you that have commented that you're starting or started recently. And that just means the world to me every time I read one of your comments. So please keep on commenting. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day and take care. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.